Hello everyone, welcome to the Leap Africa's podcast. My name is Bernard and I'll be hosting this inaugural edition, and with me co-hosting would be my colleague Hope. Hope, how are you?
I'm good. Hi everyone, very excited to be here.
Thank you, Hope. Also in the room with me is the one and only SJB.
Hello people, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Bernard.
Yeah. Also we have the Combs woman in person for me.
So good to be here, people.
It is the Youthful and Useful podcast hosted by Leap Africa, and it is a podcast that is designed to amplify the voices of young people, advocate on issues concerning young people, and also serve as a platform to develop the capacity of young people and increase the awareness of the awesomeness of young people in Nigeria and of course in Africa. But before we go too deep into why this podcast is, I'd like to share a bit with you about what is Leap Africa, and doing that would be Hope.
Hello people again, Hope here. So basically I think you've heard about Leap Africa a couple of times. Leap is an acronym for Leadership, Effectiveness, Accountability and Professionalism Africa. Leap is 20 years this year.
Yay!
Very exciting. We're 20 years. We've been in existence since 2002. Basically, an organization that was formed to cater for the needs of young people. We're a youth-led, youth-focused organization. We want to build the capacity of young people. I'm sure you're asking, why are we focused on young people? Because we believe that young people are not docile. They are very interested in their development, and so we need to build their capacity for Africa's development. Of course, we do this through a couple of interventions in secondary schools, through our social innovators program, through our university youth leadership programs. Basically, at the hem of affairs for us is ensuring that young people have a better future, right? We believe that young people are the future of Africa, and so we must invest in them. Thank you.
Rightly said, Hope. Thank you very, very much. I've been to meetings and I've been to conferences, and you tell people you're from Leap Africa and they're like, oh yeah, sure, I've heard about that, but what do they do? It's something that, doesn't make me happy all the time. So if you want to know more about Leap Africa, please visit our website on www.leapafrica.org, and you get to see some of the awesome programs and the impactful events that we've held in the past and we're still going to hold in the future. Now, going into the podcast, it is Youthful and Useful. And I'm just going to go around the room to ask us, what does that even mean? I'm a young person out there and I want to listen, and I'm listening to you and I'm wondering, what does that even mean? What does it mean to be useful as a youth? Let me put somebody on the spot. I'm going to put SJB on the spot.
Okay, Bernard, I think I saw that coming. Hello everyone again. So, Youthful and Useful, I think for me it simply means being valuable. Youth, we have so much strength, we have so much to give. We've been hearing this, we are the leaders of tomorrow. The leaders of tomorrow is now. So how we can create impact, how we can be valuable, how we can also, just support the society. It's beyond complaining. We see a lot of social media. Government is not doing well in this area. Government need to do better, but there's a lot we can do in our own space. So how can you create value? And trust me, on this podcast, you're going to get a whole lot of that. So I think that's it for me. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, SGB. But for me, if government is not doing well, we have to say it. But yeah, just want to put it out there. Yeah. Let me go to Hope. Hope, what does youthful and useful mean to you?
Okay, the way I think about it, being youthful means that you're young, probably between the age of 15 to 35, like we like to, group young people in Leap Africa. You're young and you're useful. You're not just waiting around for some miracle to happen to you. You're actually out there trying to pave a way for yourself. You're jumping through the hurdles that society presents. There are socio-economic challenges that young people go through, but surpassing those hurdles, despite those hurdles, you're thriving, you're youthful, and you're still useful.
She drops the mic. That type of ending is where you drop the mic, boom, and you go like, oh, come on, that was it. That's remarkable. If you look at the landscape of young people in Africa, and of course in Nigeria specifically, where we are at the moment, you realize that young people are actually scaling through the hurdles. One of my friends told me one time, and he said, do you know why Nigerians travel abroad and they succeed in their education? And I'm like, okay, that's true, something to think about. But really, that's the fact. Young people can actually do amazing things if the environment is made conducive, for them to do so, right? So that is what this podcast is about: youthful and useful. We want to project the voices, the strengths, the awesomeness, the abilities of young people through our work. We'll be sharing case studies from our work. We'll be bringing young people that we've worked with, those that we haven't even worked with but are doing amazing things. So think about your faves that are going to be on this podcast in the coming episodes, and that is what we are promising. Our focus in terms of topic, you can expect to hear things about leadership, social entrepreneurship, social innovation, technology, blockchain, cryptocurrency, as a matter of fact, education, you name it. Every sector that makes up a community or a society, there is always a young person or young people in there trying to make a difference. And that is what this podcast is about. It will also give young people that platform to share, their stories, because in coming episodes as well, we'll be calling young people to share their stories of impact, and we'll just be projecting that and just building that community of change agents and change makers, like we like to call them, in Leap Africa. And we believe that you're going to have an amazing time subscribing to this podcast, and just prepare to listen to it. And I'm going to have one other of my colleague talk about more on this podcast. Fumi, are you good to go?
Oh yes. Thank you so much, Bernard, for the introductions, and thank you, Hope, for just riding on that wings of sharing so much about Leap Africa. Very quickly, I'd like to mention a few things that we should expect from this podcast. Bernard has rightly said most of it all, and one thing I want you to know about this podcast is that it's going to be happening once every month. And you might be wondering, why should I listen? Yes, it's for young people. Youth focus podcast is majorly for you, and coming out really straight here is going to be very, very beneficiary to you. Capacity building is going to be very, very top notch. We're also going to be sharing opportunities. It's also going to provide a very good avenue for you to listen to your faves, as Bernard has rightly mentioned. And where can you access this podcast? Yes, it's going to be made available on all podcast app, specifically on Anchor, and that's on Android. And for my dear iPhone users, it's going to be on podcast on iPhone.
Proud people, they are proud actually.
So it's actually open to all. Everyone can listen, and I'm really saying this now. I'm encouraging you to keep tabs. Watch out for trailers that unveil new episodes every month, once every month, and I can bet you're in for great learning, immersive learning. You don't want to miss it, I know.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Fumi has said it all. And let me add one more platform. You can get to listen to this podcast on Google Podcast as well. Thank you for listening to this podcast, everyone. Yay! All right. Until we come your way next time, please keep it locked and continue, or keep making impact wherever you are. It's the Leap Africa's podcast, Youthful and Useful. See you next time. Bye.